You can have it all. Great pay, awesome benefits, a flexible schedule, the chance to grow. At Cox, we're recruiting auto and diesel technicians to join our Mannheim and Fleet Services teams. If you're ready for a new job and want to experience an award-winning workplace, drive your career forward with us. Visit cox.career/autotech to learn more. That's cox.career/autotech.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort. Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to reaver.1/shop. All right. Well, tonight's the night, the third and final debate. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. It's a messed up time right now to be living in. I just. The second, Verteus, Project Verteus, I know I'm screwing that name up, I know I am, dropped yesterday. I was surprised it came so fast, but yeah, it dropped yesterday. And it was even more heartbreaking than the first one. I'm trying to think of words that I could use. It's vile. It's disgusting. It's criminal. The list of names go on and on. If you have a negative name, go ahead and use it. I'm going to play the whole thing in its entirety in a few minutes. But we have some updates from the first video that I played in its entirety, and not because Project Verteris, it's all them. It is 100% them. Hang on, I'm getting annoyed right now. They are the ones that went undercover They're the ones that have risked everything because they already had to fight a criminal charges once. And these are the gentlemen that are responsible for the Planned Parenthood video. And they went at it again. So with yesterday's video, Foval and Cream have been fired. And now they're finding out Zulma Rodriguez is on Hillary's payroll. That's she is actually on the payroll. Now, complaints have been filed with the Federal Election Commission against Hillary Clinton's campaign, against DNC, against several super PACs. Hold on, let me check something.
Veritas.
My wife. She always knows how to say it.
Veritas.
So, there we go. Veritas. And I always screwed up. This woman, and there's not just accusations, there's proof. There's actual money that went to this woman. And that's just with the Hillary campaign. They haven't found out how much she was paid by Stand Up for Ohio PAC, which is heavily funded by Move On. In May and in June, she was paid a whopping $17,500 by Stand Up for Ohio PAC. Did pay her a political consulting fee. It's the moveon.org that they haven't locked down or found out. I mean, this second video is getting a lot of traction, and we haven't even got to the WikiLeaks. Those, as you know, can take a couple days before everything starts. There's so much material on that, and there's more to come. How much corruption has been dumped onto the American public, not just about Hillary Clinton, but the Democrat National Committee. It is a mafia-type organization. It's like, holy. Oh, and then last night I had one of those idiots. Donald Trump's going to go to jail. He's a pedophile. The judge is going to roll. I've been hearing it for a year now. Well, after making fun of this paid troll, because the paid trolls are out in masses. And you know who the paid trolls are. You can tell. There's people who support Hillary, which really isn't that much. And right now they're kind of afraid to speak up. Not for fear of retribution, because, well, they're kind of embarrassed of their candidate. Big time. But this one was pushing that tired old Trump's a pedophile, trying to destroy him that way. He's going to jail December 17th. Yeah. So he shows me the documents, and I look it up. And, number one, it was a civil case. Civil. Which means they were suing him for money. The case had already got thrown out of court once. And someone got a hold of me on Twitter and said, hey, by the way, here's the paperwork. This case was dismissed. So, of course, I start plastering all over this idiot's Twitter. So their big idea is, you're a pedophile. Oh, my fucking God. It's just too funny with these losers. Let me tell us, DNC, if you're going to hire people that don't get so butthurt so quickly. People are more informed nowadays. And especially when it comes to Twitter, when it comes to this type of information, people are helping each other out. We're not being quiet anymore, Democrats. I'm not going to sit there and listen. There's 3 main people I've seen on Twitter that are trying to spread that propaganda. It's outright lies. It wasn't a criminal case. It was a civil case. And it was tossed out of court not once, but twice. So they're trying to, right now, Democrats are in full-on damage control mode. Hillary's going down faster than Monica Lewinsky in the White House. And don't, trust me, I can't talk about some of the things that I've found out, but trust me when I say the polls are not telling you anywhere near the truth. Things are looking better than you actually realize. All right, actually, I'm going to wait until after the first commercial. Then we're going to go straight after the first commercial. We're going to play the clip. They talk about how for 50 years, they've been rigging the elections. 50 years, they've been bussing people in. They explained how they do it. Technically, they don't bus people in because, well, that would prove that there's a mastermind over it. So they have these people rent cars and drive to the next state. Or they have them, there's some used car site. Well, something like you could buy a car and you still can have the license plate or something. And that's what they're directing these people to do. It's Marco Rubio just made oh my fucking God, you pussy. Marco Rubio warns Republicans don't talk about WikiLeaks. He went on to talk about how this is a foreign government interfering with our electoral process, and I will not indulge it. I will not discuss any issue that has become public solely on the basis of WikiLeaks. As our intelligence agencies have said, these leaks are an effort by a foreign government to interfere with our electoral process, and I will not indulge it. I want to warn my fellow Republicans, you may want to capitalize politically on these leaks. Today is the Democrat, tomorrow it could be us. Well, if you're doing that type of actions, we the people should know. If you're doing that type of actions, Marco Rubio, step out of the race. Step down now. You spineless piece of shit. God, right now I'm so conflicted. Do I vote for that dumbass? Or do I give a chance for the Democrats to take control? I'm holy. How spineless do you have to be? I'm speechless. I'm so sick of these politicians. You know, he should have kept his mouth shut on that one. While Trump is talking term limits, oh, that's why, because he's talking term limits within the Congress, and it would hurt them. It would hurt scumbags like Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, these career wannabes. So, of course, he's lashing out. Of course, Paul Ryan lashes out. Because those corrupt SOBs won't have a job anymore. I'm beyond amazed. I'm sorry I'm stuttering. This has just caught me totally off guard. Holy for holies. I mean, how stupid can you be coming out and making this statement like that? Is he trying to help the Democrats? See, this is the problem with Republicans. They always try to take the high road. They try to be Mr. Clean when they're not. And then the Democrats come along and use every means necessary and just wipe them off the map when it comes to elections. And for him to buy in, it's the Russians. I can't believe he's buying into this shit. Now I want to see what emails Marco Rubio has that he wants hidden so bad. That really has my curiosity peaked. What emails does Marco Rubio have that he is hiding so bad? Holy. Holy Riminies. I'm sorry. This is just. I'm also thinking about calling his office up and asking why they're trying to protect criminals. What does Marco have to hide? Holy. I'm just. Yeah, I doubt they're going to talk. I know they're not going to talk. They're going to hide like little children. I'm just dumbfounded. You're actually going to try to help protect the Democrats. Anybody with a brain on their shoulder can tell that this Russia foreign government interference is just nothing but an excuse. I didn't hear all these excuses about trying to interrupt on foreign governments when it was the release of the Bush files. Marco Rubio, please go heavy. Get some balls. Get them from your girlfriend. I don't care who you get them from. God, I wish he would have lost the primary. I did not want to see Marco Rubio win the primary. The guy is a joke. He's not a Tea Party member. Just because he says he is, he's walked away from the Tea Party. He's not a Republican. He's an opportunist. And this is what makes me want to walk away from the Republican Party. And I'm telling you, I'm walking away from the Republican Party right after the election. Because down ballot are a joke. A bunch of establishment that are exactly like the Democrats. Scumbag politicians that are out for themselves. I'm speechless. And this is what's wrong with our country. They are afraid to have their emails exposed. The government officials are afraid for the public to see what they're really saying and doing behind closed doors. And Marco Rubio just proved that the Democrats are the Republicans have just as much to hide. I can't believe he actually opened his mouth and did that. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio. ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, YouTube, Spreaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to reaver.one/shop. All right, as I promised, we're going to do the part 2 titled Mass Voter Fraud from the Rigging the Election series.
You could fuck your mother in front of the governor and not go to jail.
What's the goal of the overall campaign, right? And yeah, for me as an attorney, like, yeah, this is something like that.
And I assume you don't go off and tell these conversations anyway.
No.
Because this is...
No, absolutely. So, no.
However, other people can make things happen that you don't need to know about. We talk about lots of things that we don't talk about.
You know what? We've been busting people in, you fucking asshole, for 50 years, and we're not going to stop now.
This is part 2 of our undercover investigation into the dark, backroom dealings of the Hillary Clinton campaign. Part 1 blew up on social media, with many Americans wondering why the mainstream media wasn't covering the story. In fact, Project Veritas Action had television exclusives lined up around the country. Those television stations spiked the story at the last minute. Our sources tell us the reason they did so was fear of retaliation and retribution from a future Hillary Clinton administration. Truth is dangerous, especially when it challenges those in power. In this video, Democratic operatives tell us how to successfully commit voter fraud on a massive scale.
A lot of pre-union guys, they'll do whatever
Oh, yeah.
you want. They're rock and roll.
So I'm basically Deputy Rapid Response Director for the DNC for all things Trump on the ground. Nobody's really supposed to know about me.
No, I'm saying, we have mentally ill people that we pay to do shit. Make no mistake.
This guy named Cesar Vargas is his name. I got a priest to cry on camera once.
You know, Brad and Bob and Lux and myself are all part of the old school method where it doesn't matter what the freaking legal and ethics people say. We need to win this motherfucker.
So Bob is really good friends with him, and talked to him this afternoon. And they are all in. If we can get 25 grand, they're all in.
Our investigators wanted to find out what it would take to get the highest favorable turnout. Democratic politico Scott Fovel was our target, and he was more than willing to lead us through the process of how to rig an election.
We did to them when we were in charge, too. So
What did we do?
we did the exact same thing. Only we manipulated the vote with money and action, not with laws.
It's a very easy thing for Republicans to say, well, they're busting people in. Well, you know what? We've been busting people in, you fucking asshole, for 50 years, and we're not going to stop now. We're just going to find a different way to do it. So, I mean, I grew up with that idea. You know, they used to bust people out to Iowa. If we needed people out there, we used to bust people out to Iowa.
When we met Scott Fovel, he worked for People for the American Way, an organization funded in large part by George Soros. He now works for Americans United for Change. It's a nonprofit that claims to, quote, move America in a new, better direction, unquote. With guys like Fovel working for them, we wonder what direction that might be.
When I do this, I think you're an investigator first.
Good, yeah. Work backwards, yes. Yeah, that's great.
I used to do the investigation.
Yeah.
Different method. I think backwards from how they would prosecute if they could, and then try to build out the method to avoid that.
The plan that was discussed was how to bring people from one state into another state to vote illegally.
They could invalidate. Well, okay, let's just say, in theory, if a major investigation came up of major vote fraud that way, How would they prove it, and who would they charge? Are they going to charge each individual?
Oh, sorry.
Are they going to charge each individual with voter fraud?
See, that's what I'm saying.
Are they going to go after the facilitator for conspiracy, which they could prove? And it's one thing if all these people drive up in their personal cars. If there's a bus involved, that changes the dynamic. So it's the legality.
Well, yeah.
Because you can prove conspiracy if there's a bus.
Yeah.
If there are cars, it's much harder to prove.
And there's enough money.
If there's enough money, then you have people drive their POV.
Absolutely.
Or you have them drive rentals.
Yeah, with Wisconsin license plates.
Absolutely. Well, you can't have them with Wisconsin license plates because rentals here, most of them don't have Wisconsin license plates.
Oh.
But there's these things called used car auctions. Used car auctions, the titles belong to some unknown company. They're company cars.
And you know, these are multiple employers. These are not all one employer.
Use shell companies.
Yeah.
Cars come from one company, the paychecks come from another. There's no bus involved, so you can't prove that it's en masse.
There you go.
So it doesn't tip people off.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying.
See, okay, yeah. So now I'm starting to see that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
When I do this, I think as an investigator first.
Good. Yeah. Work backwards. Yes. Yeah, that's great.
I used to do the investigation.
Yeah.
Different method. I think backwards from how they would prosecute if they could, and then try to build out the method to avoid that.
So, okay, so you're saying shell companies, you're saying the car...
if the car has a Wisconsin license plate and is owned by a third entity, then it's much harder to prove that these people drove in from out of state. There's no bus involved, so you can't prove conspiracy.
And they would have to be looking for them in the first place.
Well, a bus is something that you're not looking for, or that you are looking for.
Yeah.
A car.
Our journalist helped brainstorm with Fovel on how to come up with addresses for their phony voters.
Now, if we just have the canvassers logging the homes, they don't even have to know why they're doing it.
Put a mark on it
and say this address. You know, we have moved, but moved could mean someone else moved in.
You take that data and you flip it out and you give it to people and you have people download it. That's brilliant. I love it.
So yeah, and you know, it sort of depends upon how much the canvassers don't have to know why they just need to be told to do. Yeah.
In fact, you don't want them to know.
Right.
The question is whether when you get caught by a reporter, does that matter? Because does it turn into an investigation or not? In this case, in this state, the answer is no. Because they don't have any power to do anything.
Right. So this is sort of maybe not stuff for the general, but stuff to maybe hold off until.
No, I think you could do it for the general. You have to do it in multiple states.
Okay.
So what you do is you implement the plan on a much bigger scale. You implement a massive change in state legislatures and in Congress. So you aim higher for your goals, and then you implement it across every Republican-held state.
I'll let you know where we're going to go.
So starting on the grassroots,
that's honestly the ripest environment to do it in. Two, within striking distance. Michigan, Indiana, least restrictive donation caps and campaign finance laws and investigation and any investigative arms and any of that. Like, they have weakened it so bad in these three states. You could fuck your mother in front of the governor and not go to jail. If you had enough money to go like this.
Fovel then told our journalist that he knew the guy that makes stuff like this happen.
So Bob Kramer comes up with a lot of these ideas. I work with Bob Kramer one-to-one all the time. I'm the white hat. Democracy Partners is kind of the dark hat. I will probably end up being a partner there at some point. Because our philosophy on things is actually the same.
Bob Kramer founded Democracy Partners in 2011. He is the husband of Jan Schakowsky, a Democratic congresswoman from Chicago, and in 2005 he pled guilty on tax violations and bank fraud. He was convicted and sentenced to 5 months in prison and 11 months of house arrest.
One of the things that Steve was talking to Scott about, that he passed on to me, and I think it's one of the reasons why I got in touch with you, he envisioned, what do you need to be able to vote in some of these new voter? What do you really need, okay? What makes you a citizen? And if you look at that checklist, it's an ID card of any kind that shows you who you are, and a pay stub that shows you're getting paid at a local address someplace.
I mean, to get registered.
Yeah, to get registered.
Yeah.
So you go in and register. If you have those two things, you're registered to vote. So if you, let's say I had a business inside of, say, Illinois or Michigan, and I hired people, and I had addresses for them, I could write them checks for those. I could use them as day laborers or whatever and use them and find my way around the voter registration laws for Hispanics. That's one thing. I'm actually, that idea, when he gave it to me, I was like, that sounds like something, we could register huge numbers of people that way. Well, that kind of thing kind of stuck in my craw when he mentioned it to me.
All right, let me, on that front, I'm going to write down these options. Let me see if I can chat with the people who are most involved in Hispanic voter registration.
Okay.
And see what their thoughts are. I mean, there are a couple of different organizations that's their big trick.
Okay, yeah, if you know folks that you can put me in touch with, what if I,
We'll help you do this. I mean, this is very important, this stuff. Turnout is huge.
Because Bob Kramer is diabolical, and I love him for it.
Yeah.
I've learned so much from that man over the last 20 years, I can't even tell you. And he calls me to be his firefighter a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because there are people who, in our movement, who will not do what it takes to get shit done. And I am not that person. I'm the one they send when everything has gone to shit. So he spends a lot of time on the phone with my boss, actually, like asking for me to go places that I don't go.
We had our donor set up a second meeting with Bob Kramer to see how he could help put this voter fraud plan into motion.
This is re-enfranchising the voters. That's how I look at it, okay? If I could, through my company, employ these people for a day, okay, or for a week, or for a month, okay? And I could find work for them, useful work for them, and issue corporate IDs for them.
Here's my fear. We can run this by our lawyers.
Okay.
My fear is that someone would decide that this was a big voter fraud scheme.
Kramer hesitated to help our donor pull off the voter fraud scheme that Fovel created.
Bob came back to me and asked me, what is he talking about? And I told him what we were talking about.
What you did.
And he said, well, I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole now.
Right.
I go, nor should you.
Good advice.
Nor should you. Okay. He goes, good, I'm glad we're on the same page there. I said, however, other people can make things happen that you don't need to know about. And he goes,
so that's where I think this goes.
Yeah. But you do understand, he's still going to have to know about it.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Well, I mean, is that okay as long as it's outside of... Okay. Now...
We talk about lots of things that we don't talk about.
Fovel told us about a guy in New York that works with Kramer a lot. We wondered if he was the guy who could pull off the voter fraud scheme.
This guy named Cesar Vargas is his name. So Bob is really good friends with him and talked to him this afternoon. And
Vargas is an interesting character. He is the co-founder of the Dream Action Coalition, a New York lawyer and a dreamer himself. Born in Mexico, Vargas is an undocumented alien.
What he was in a sense, was transforming was that this idea, and Scott made it seem possible, but said it wasn't possible but even though it was actually possible, is, essentially getting a bunch of people, on a bus or whatever, taking them around the country. They legally can vote, so they can vote. At the same time, they're also getting work permits under a different name and voting again on behalf of people who cannot vote.
Right. Yeah, I was to say, can we make something for, especially within midterm elections in 2018? This is not going to happen, right?
I know that.
It's not gonna happen. So I think it's not about, for us, let's see who the next president is. If it's Donald Trump, it even makes more sense. The issue would be even more credible and much more opportunity for us to jump into this. Right. If it's Secretary Clinton and the 49D laws are loosened and we have much more opportunity for people to vote, and we have immigration reform, it's not going to be as significant, right?
If you cross the bridge, can I come and possibly help us do that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Count me in.
We don't go off and tell these conversations to anybody.
No.
Because this is
no, absolutely. As an activist, do we want to do this? Do we want to take a chance? Let's talk about it.
We have to do a better job of making our people do what they're supposed to do. Not asking them, not expecting them and taking them for granted, but beating the shit out of them and making them like voters. Yeah.
America, our series of videos from this investigation will continue up until the election. People ask me, James, what can I do? Here's what you can do. Send this video to every single person you know. Demand the mainstream media play these tapes. Email the journalists. Tweet at the journalists. And remember, the truth is dangerous, especially when it challenges those in power.
It's holy. I just can't believe. And I'm actually shocked. There's people right now. There's this idiot actually sticking up for Marco Rubio's comment. He's got nothing to hide. It's smart. We shouldn't be having a foreign entity interfering with our election. I do not buy into that it's a foreign entity. The Democrats weren't crying this when they're exposing Republican information. It's I'm just... No one was standing up protecting the Republicans when it happened. I don't think it's foreign entities. And let me tell you, the media used to do this job before they got in bed with the Democrat Party. They would sneak, poke, prod, and find out the secrets. Well, now they're in bed with the Democrat Party, and they are not helping out. So we have to have other entities step in on our behalf of the citizens. It's I'm floored. I really am. It's I don't know what's worse, the WikiLeaks or those videos. I really don't. I'm pretty split on that. It's WikiLeaks has a lot of information, And I think the videos hit home more because we actually hear them talking so nonchalantly about it. That's... So it's... I know I'm pretty dumbfounded today, and I apologize. It's just these videos, this information is so overwhelming. And shows just how far our government has gone rogue. Well, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio. iTunes, YouTube, and Spreaker. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying calf was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. Shut up. I wasn't late. I was actually perfectly on time. Listen to you yammer on. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to reaver.1/shop. Literally, I looked up and there was like 8 seconds left. I'm like, shit. As you can tell, Crash has called in. It's
all right. So what are you bitching about today?
Well, right now, Marco Rubio made a statement, and that he will not discuss any issue that has become public solely on the basis of WikiLeaks. Our intelligence agencies have said these leaks are an effort by a foreign government to interfere with our electoral process, and I will not indulge in it. He then went on and says, I want to warn my fellow Republicans who want to capitalize politically on these leaks. Today it is a Democrat. Tomorrow it could be us.
So try to respond to that.
So he's admitting he has stuff to hide, and he doesn't want it exposed.
Or he's, I'm not even.
Why is it? I mean, the Democrats would not be saying that. They would not be trying to help the Republicans. And I got an idiot.
What I can't figure out is what's there's an angle here. What's the angle? Exactly. I mean, I'm just covering over here. I get hello. I don't know. Honestly, I've lost a lot of respect for that guy anyway. So, I mean, honestly, what it sounds like, really the best thing I can think of is he's doing damage control for either something that has happened or he thinks is going to happen, and he's running that middle line. You know, well, hey, kumbaya, let's all just get along. You know, I mean, yeah, it could be a Republican next time. Hey, guess what? It was a Republican at one point.
Yeah, it was.
And I don't remember him saying anything about the Democrats. You know,
I don't remember the Democrats sticking up for the Republicans when everything was getting leaked.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, whether it's okay, so all right, so he's not going to comment. Now, here's really where I think the idiocy of this is. He is not going to comment on anything that came from WikiLeaks. But now, what if the WikiLeaks release starts an investigation that then turns around and confirms or denies that something is actually legitimate or not legitimate? Or what if the exact same information was found through another source? Does that mean it can be discussed, or because WikiLeaks also did it, now we can no longer talk? I mean, it's almost like that's essentially throwing a complete blanket on the entire scandal of, well, it's just like Benghazi. Get over it. It's done. It's over. I don't get where that's coming from. It's just. We got to come up with something else because I really don't even know how to deal with that idiocy. It's just.
Well, the thing I have is, this idiot, there's one idiot. Well, I don't want foreign entities involving in our election. Number one, how many elections do we stick our nose into every day? We always stick our nose into other countries' elections.
We've had our hands in overthrowing governments just to have elections. And how many times has that bit us in the ass? You know, shoving the democratic process down every other country's throat. Come on. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Proceed.
Hang on. It's all, and the clips that I played just have me. The media used to do what WikiLeaks is doing. The media is now in the pocket of the politicians and is not investigating like it used to.
It used to be investigative reporting. They would, you'd find, okay, yeah, they look like there could be a story here, and you backstop it, and you go after it, and you source it, and you do a lot of work to break a story. The only things they report on now is stuff that's released. This just did. Obama did this. Yeah, we all saw it when he televised it 35 seconds ago. Yeah, that's not journalism.
Well, that's the other thing that makes me laugh, to change subject a little bit. Obama went out last night. We're going to talk more tonight after you've had a chance to watch the videos. Obama yesterday came out of nowhere, and the elections are not rigged. They're 100% straight. Nobody's doing any type of shenanigans. No one's, there's no voter fraud. End of discussion. Stop whining. And he literally told Trump to stop whining about it, which was really holy shit.
And it was proven by the commission, by the government commission that deals with the elections, that there has been rampant voter fraud in the past several elections.
Hold on. We're even going to take it a step further, because within the WikiLeaks emails, John Podesta, who is one of the campaign managers for Hillary Clinton, feared that they were going to lose the primary again due to, quote, Obama-style voter fraud, unquote.
This is ridiculous. He is just... You know what? That's nothing more than him just using his position to campaign for Clinton again. I mean, honestly, that's the only thing I see this guy doing.
But it's okay for them to talk about voter fraud.
Oh, yeah.
But nobody else.
It's okay for them to commit it. They can flat out commit it.
Well, then once these videos came out, and these videos, they talk about exactly how they've committed voter fraud for the last 50 years.
Yeah, exactly. And people wonder why. And this is the screwed up thing: is whether you do the WikiLeaks thing or not, whether you're paying attention or you got your head so far up your own ass you don't know what the hell's going on in the world. I don't really think it matters overly much to most of the legal voting public. Because for the most part, I think most of us are so fed up with the rampant bullshit system of, this one did this, so I did this, no, I didn't do this. And just a constant, nobody can trust anybody. Nobody can trust these politicians. They're constantly flip-flopping. They're constantly going back and forth. It's not, they're proving how untrustworthy they are and the system is. You wonder what's going to cause somebody from outside that system to get elected? It's going to be the disdain for the system. That is really the biggest pusher, I think, for Trump in most people's mind. Is they're sick of the system politics. They're sick of this. And it doesn't matter who the hell was running. It was going to be that guy or that woman or that canary or elephant or whatever. Something outside the system. I honestly think that is a big driving force with most people. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But whether I like him or not, whether I disagree with him or agree with him on everything or nothing. Honestly, the fact that he is not, part of the establishment is, I think, that's a plus. I'm done. That's just me.
It's... hang on. It's this whole thing, and like you said, it's the politicians have lost the trust. I don't trust whether it's a Republican, Democrat, Independent, yo mama, my mama. I don't care what party. Hey, yo, what do you have to go there for? I don't care. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust a single one.
No, I agree with you. That's the thing, right? People are this whole system. It's falling apart. It's failed because honestly, both sides are not innocent in entirely, and both sides are not guilty in its entirety. They're both guilty of the exact same tactics. It's just really the only difference I see is the degree to which they'll utilize them or the frequency. I mean, it doesn't matter if you steal $5 or $5,000. You're still a thief, right? It doesn't matter which amount is used, but most people are going to look at the $5 as, well, okay, all right, I guess I can understand that. $5,000, oh my God, that's horrible. You're a rotten person. Oh wait, you stole $5 5,000 times. Oh well, it was only still $5. No, and I how people are thinking about this stuff now. And people are finally starting to open their eyes. I feel like I'm talking in fucking circles right now. Jesus.
It's sickening anymore. It really is. And I'm actually very speechless today from all of this. But on one good thing, I know you probably won't know who the guy is. Curt Schilling. He was a great pitcher for the Phillies. He was the one that helped win the World Series for the Red Sox. Has announced that he will be running for senator in Massachusetts against Elizabeth Warren. Now, this man stood up. He was talking on TV. The thing of the senator, he is to go to Washington to represent the people. He does not go there with his own agenda. And he went on this big spiel of what the Constitution says the senators are supposed to be. He's not going there to represent himself or any lobby group. He is going there to represent the people.
Well, that's what I think. I mean, everybody's lost sight. I mean, that's what the politicians have lost sight of is they work for the people. I mean, they've gotten to this whole entitlement thing where they deserve the job. It's their job. No, you're a representative of the people. When you forget that, it's time for you to fucking go. And I think people are waking up to that. Hey, guess what? We actually do have a say in this whole thing. We can make a change. I mean, that whole thing that my vote doesn't count, not entirely true. Yeah, in a rigged election, you're right, it doesn't count, which obviously we've dealt with. But if enough people stand up and start yelling and screaming and getting their voices heard, it's gonna make an impact. It's gonna have an effect. And we are starting to see those effects. Not everywhere. I mean, the big thing in the New Jersey side of it, this whole gas tax thing, I think it was 70 to 80% of the people did not want it. Even if it was going to go 100% to fixing our roads, they still did not want it because they want the government to be accountable and to balance out the budget they were given. You squander the money, you figure out how to fix it. Well, government said, guess what? We know what's best. You don't, fuck you. We're going to do it anyway, and we're still not going to balance the books.
Yeah.
They've already admitted that the money they're getting from this increase, it's not going to the roads. They admitted it right after it passed. Most of it is going to go as backing for loans to then do these projects, including new light rails and other things that we don't even need right now. So instead of fixing what we have, we're just going to build more things that we're going to have to fix later. And you wonder why people are getting pissed. Gee, I don't know. Christy, I wonder why your numbers are tanking down below 20%.
Yeah, well, Christie I've never cared for, really. Never. The guy is not, he's supposed to be a Republican, and he is not pro-Second Amendment.
No, he's a rhino.
Oh, yeah. And he's just latching himself onto...
Actually, I heard something interesting. He's been lashing himself to Trump.
Yeah.
Now, that's been this whole big thing, him and Trump. Because of all the bullshit that he's been doing in the state, all this behind-the-scenes, people are starting to see his true colors. They're actually saying that it's hurting Trump's image now. Because everybody's figuring, well, if Trump gets in, Christie's going to be part of his administration. We can't trust that SOB. Look what he's done here. Maybe we need to rethink supporting Trump. Sometimes it is who you know, and it doesn't always work out the way you want it.
I don't think it's hurting his numbers at all. I really don't. Everybody I talk to says that he's not a great politician, but he would make a great attorney general or something within the legal rounds within a Trump administration.
Who's that, Christie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, he was.
From what I understand, he was a pretty damn good attorney general for the state of New Jersey. As a governor, he's kind of sucks.
The only thing I liked about one of the things I actually do like about him was the call it as it is. You know that and he was pretty strong with that when he first came in. And that's saying he's definitely become more of a play-to-pay politician, essentially. And I'm not liking it one bit. Now, with the Second Amendment thing, honestly, I think that's a harder one for me for one reason. No Republican and no Democrat 100% prescribes to all the ideals in their party. Everybody still has their own points of view. You could be a Republican and still want some type of gun restriction. What chaps my ass with him and the Second Amendment is if he's not going to do anything with it, then fucking be a man, step up and say, hey, I'm not doing anything about it. System's in place. This is the system we have. I'm not changing it. But what he does is he goes out in the public and says, this is completely unacceptable. That she was not able to get a permit. It's completely unacceptable that it takes so long, that it's so restrictive for concealed carry. We've got to do something about this. I'm going to form a commission. We're going to look into this, and we're going to streamline the process. We're going to fix this system. Mr. Christie, what have you done about fixing that system? What system? I don't know what you're talking about. I made no such statement. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I remember back when,
motherfucker.
His first term, some people went to him figuring they had a Republican governor. He would at least look into it, and they went to him about putting the laws more in step with what the Constitution reads, and he went, no, we're not changing the laws. They're fine the way they are. We don't need to have guns in the state of New Jersey. What? Wait a minute. He showed his true side. That's why I never backed him for his run. Never.
I forgot that he did that bullshit. But then he's flip-flopped on it since then. And again, that's what I mean. Yes, I understand. Politicians, just like anybody else, can change their points of view. They can change their opinions as time goes on. But you got to have a reason for it. The flip-flop that all these guys are doing, there's no reason behind it other than serving a personal agenda and a personal need.
Yeah.
And that's bullshit. Did I tell you, have you heard about this whole pedals thing?
Yeah, the whole bear thing. Yeah.
Did you hear about the law that I think it's Lesniak is trying to push through?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay, so on Monday, all right, well, for those of you that don't know, all right, New Jersey, we have a bear hunt. Okay, primarily in North Jersey, well, only in North Jersey, because that's the only place we got a bear population large enough for it. It had been banned, I think, since like the 70s. We hadn't had one. And then we finally had one within the past 10 years it started. And they've had various restrictions on it as far as what can be used, how long, bag limits, all the rest of that. Well, this year was the first year that they allowed archery to be utilized in the bear hunt, or maybe specifically the crossbow. Well, this year also, to go along with that, you have a bear which was injured. They're figuring that it was injured, but most likely hit by a car, and One of his front paws is half missing. The other one's all mangled up. So he really can't support himself on his front legs. So he adapted and he taught himself how to thrive and survive by walking on his hind legs, by bipedal. So he was nicknamed Pedals. And he was very commonly cited over the past 2 years, one of the North Jersey counties. So it became this whole big sensation thing. People were trying to get him saved, put him in a sanctuary, all the rest of this shit. Fish and Wildlife says he's thriving. Why F with it? He adapted. He's thriving. There's no reason to mess with this. Putting him in a sanctuary would actually be detrimental to him. Well, it came out, and there's unconfirmed reports. Even the state is saying that definitively we'll never be able to say if it was Pedals that was killed in this hunt last week. But there's a lot of evidence pointing towards it. The fact of the matter is he was never tagged, so they can't definitively say it. So, speculation is he was killed in the hunt. So now one of our illustrious representatives came up with Pedals Law, which puts a moratorium on the bear hunt, I think for 5 years, so that we can reevaluate how to do bear control. There's no need to kill a bear. Bears don't do anything against people. It's not a problem having the bear population. We need non-lethal ways of controlling the bear population. So hunting should not be allowed, and we need to protect these animals. And he named it Pedals Law. And it's already being pushed through, and because of public outcry, it's gaining the support. Now, nobody thinks that it'll actually get signed into law, but fact of the matter is, less than 2% of the New Jersey population is a hunter. So you've got even 80% of the population screaming about this one bear, well, then it might go forward. It might get passed. Now, the fucked up thing is these are the exact same people that are all pissed off about Pedals. None of them are yelling and screaming about the other 400-plus bears that were taken. Not screaming about those bears.
Well, what about the fact if they stop hunting bears and the bear population goes up, the danger it becomes to the people, and not just that, the disease and starvation that will run through and could kill off all the bears.
Well, and not just the bears. A habitat can only support so much wildlife.
Yeah.
You overpopulate a habitat, it doesn't just destroy one form of animal life or plant life. It's going to have a ripple effect on all of them. That's the way it is. And that's how nature works. Now, not only do you end up with the problems of the human interaction, I mean, shoot, the bear population was growing and growing and growing. We were petitioning for a bear hunt. No need. Oh shit! A college student just got mauled to death by a black bear out of nowhere. Oh no! There's too many bears. We gotta hunt them. We've been saying the population was out of control for years.
We had that down here in Florida, Deke. We had it down here in Florida, and the people, a small group of them, freaked out. I even had one lady telling me it's my fault because I moved into Florida. I'm taking up the habitat. I must leave. And I turned around, I said, you live in Florida. But I've been living here a long time, not as long as the Bears. That's different. No, it isn't.
Don't you love how it's always different when you reverse it on them? I just absolutely love that.
Listen, and you can back me up on this. Conservatives, yes, we hunt, we fish, we do all that. We care about the environment more than these social justice warriors that only jump up when a named lion get killed. Or when a named bear get killed. We make sure that when we go hunting that the population levels are not decimated. We make sure that we clean up our messes when we leave those hunting areas.
Yeah, we also, and now, for all those out there that, they're going to say, okay, well, it was an injured bear. It's not hunting if you bait. That's not sportsmanlike behavior. That's not this, that's not that. Well, I'll tell you what. Have you ever done it? If you haven't, then why don't you shut the F up?
Yeah.
Or at least look into what a true sportsman does. You're going to gauge the entire group on the actions of a few people when it's, like you said, we actually care more.
Well, let's look at the hunting
more.
in Africa with that lion, whatever the hell that lion's name was.
Cecil.
So now the hunters are afraid to go over there, pay the big money to go over there. They now have to kill off 200 lions for no other reason than the population is too high. It's now decimating the other populations because there's more lions than the ecosystem can handle, and they're killing off more animals than it should be.
Yep.
It's the people are now starving because they have no income, because the only source of income they had is now gone. And the conservation groups, that the only way they made their money is through these hunts. These conservation groups that made sure that these animals were safe and protected are now shutting down because they have no income to pay for those conservation groups. Bravo, liberals. You just destroyed the ecosystem over there.
Oh, now here's the thing. Now, going along with that, now this is the thing. I'm going to make one point to finish off my last thing about, the hunt, just the specific hunters with the hunting. We actually, I would say that we care more. And we actually do a lot more for a couple of reasons. One very specific one I can think of, you want to yell and scream about, we killed an animal, it wasn't a clean kill, it's not sportsmanlike conduct. Okay, fine. Well, I'll tell you one thing, point blank. If we see another hunter that does an unethical, not even an illegal kill, an unethical kill,
I'd turn him in.
Say something to him about it.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can't. If it's unethical, you can't really turn them in because they didn't actually break a law.
Point.
So, but we approach them. Okay, dude, the duck was on the goddamn water. Well, it's an easy shot. That's not sportsmanlike. What the hell's wrong with you? Essentially, we take care of it ourselves. We run their asses out of that area. We make sure they're not hunting in our areas anymore. Now, for the SOBs that want to go ahead and take that doe out of season, there was a bow hunter that saw a guy, he shot a doe out of season just because it was available. The hunter went up to him and did what he's not supposed to do. We're just supposed to report it. Well, he detained the guy. He damn near hog-tied him. And he held him there while he called Game and Wildlife, Fish and Game, and the cops. Reported the illegal activity and held him there until they showed up. Had that guy stripped of all of his hunting privileges for the rest of his life. But we don't care.
Yeah.
Now, we don't care. So, answer me this. Where does, all this state land that is dedicated to the wildlife management, the stocking of the trout streams, the research, the revitalization of these habitats, all of this money that goes into that, who pays for that? Where does all that funding come from?
Exactly.
Not from your tax dollars. It's not coming from when you buy a pack of cigarettes. It's not coming from the gas tax. It's not coming from your real estate tax. It's coming from two sources. One, every time a hunter gets their hunting license or their sportsman's license for the year, and every time they get a stamp or a permit to go out and hunt an animal. That money goes towards conservation. And, okay, guns are bad, guns are bad, guns are bad. We need to get rid of all the guns in the United States of America. Okay. Well, guess what? There's an 11% excise tax on every single firearm, every single round of ammunition, and on about half of the archery supplies that are sold. 11% excise tax from the federal government that goes to one specific thing. It is divided up 50 ways, and a check is cut to every single state for the purpose of wildlife conservation. So please tell me, how in the hell you are protecting the environment by taking away my Second Amendment rights and telling me I can't go kill a deer so I can have some fresh venison for dinner for my family?
Exactly.
Oh, and guess what?
Listen.
Damn it.
I know.
Hey, one more point.
Finish the point, but we got commercial. We're late.
Okay, last point. Everybody's yelling and screaming about GMO and all the crap and everything that's in our damn food. Guess what? None of that's in my fucking turkey for Thanksgiving. Now, go ahead. Sorry, I had to do that one.
No problem. I don't mean to cut you off. Just we're majorly late, and it cuts into the last segment. So you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, YouTube, Spreaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying coffee is stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, with a special guest. I got Crash calling in today. We're trying to make sense out of the simplest. Yeah. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to go to reaver.one/shop. Pick yourself a kick-ass T-shirt. Now, I got a clip that I want to play real quick. I haven't heard it yet, but it's supposedly... Well, let's just listen to it.
We will take you back there live here on C-SPAN.
You have a better understanding how you can defeat it intellectually, and then take our principal conservative values. I really call myself a classical liberal more than a...
That's Paul Ryan calling himself a classic liberal more than a conservative. He is the majority House leader, speaker, whatever, for the Republicans.
House Majority Speaker.
That's how dumbfounded he's got me. It just... Holy. Where do you go from there? I mean,
well, honestly, I don't have any problem with, if you want to be liberal, you want to be a Democrat, you want to be a Republican, be a conservative, you want to be whatever the hell you are. But fine, then be that. If you want to call yourself, you're not a strict Republican. I mean, you don't have a problem looking at some of the points of view of the other side. Okay, fine. It's called negotiating. It's called, actually listening. Okay, fine. I can even see that. But getting yourself into a position of leadership for a party that is based on ideals and not agreeing with all of them, fine. I can understand. But disavowing all of them while you're in charge of the party, you're a fucking turncoat. And I really don't know what else to call you other than that, let's get his ass out of D.C.
Yeah, the problem is it's him or a Democrat to vote for because he won his primary, unfortunately. But after the first of the year, he could be voted out as House Speaker. And that's what really needs to be done. He needs to be voted out as House Speaker. Because if you do not hold the values of the conservative movement, then you don't need to be the speaker for the movement. Plain and simple.
No.
I don't care. I don't agree with everything Trump. And as a smart-ass thing, I took one of those Facebook little tests, if you really want to call it tests. And it was comparing you to your candidate. And I scored like an 85% with Trump. And I'm happy with that.
I did one of those. I did one of those too. I did another one for like what party do you identify closest with? And, those things are freaking entertaining. They got a comical value to it.
Right, but my point is, I'm very happy at 85% in agreement with Trump.
Okay. I see your point.
I'm happy with that because I do not need to. I do not agree that someone should agree 100% with a politician. It's very rare that you're going to agree 100% every goddamn time. You should have some kind of difference within a certain degree.
I can't see anybody agreeing with anybody 100% of the time.
I think at that point you're just blindly following.
Yeah, you're not. But the problem is, that's a lot of what they've been pushing for is that blind followership. The indoctrination crap, they make, everybody says, they're just joking about these re-education camps. No, they're freaking not. They're not joking about it. If they could do it, they would.
Yeah.
If they could ban all the guns, they would. If they could take away all of our civil liberties, they would.
In a heartbeat.
Hillary
has said.
Doing this.
And I've talked to my father because, he's for guns, but he hates the argument of just guns. And I'm like, no, that's the problem with Hillary is, and he's against Hillary, don't get me wrong, he is 100% against her. She has said that all of our constitutional rights the government has a right to regulate them. And that is in direct conflict of why They're created. Our constitutional rights are created so the government cannot regulate those. I want to bash my head into a wall. I really do when I hear that stuff.
See, the problem is, now the problem I've got with that is, I don't know. See, I know it's a real touchy spot, but
all right, we're talking. I'm not talking. Okay, you can't scream fire in a crowded room because at that point it's not your constitutional right. You are infringing on everybody else's constitutional right to safety.
The freedom of the press to get into classified information that's going to jeopardize national security. No, I don't think that should be allowed.
That's not governing. That's common sense because you're infringing on other people's constitutional rights.
Yeah. And actually, I think that's the best argument for it because that actually covers just about every one of the things that I was thinking of. The right for a violent criminal to own a firearm. Well, that's infringing on somebody else because you already know what he's going to do with it. He's not getting it for a sporting purpose. So that's infringing on somebody else's life. So, really, that's... And that's the fucked up thing is they always want to use the argument common sense. Well, it's common sense to not give a violent criminal a loaded gun. That's common sense. How is it common sense to keep a sporting gun or a defensive weapon out of the hands of a law-abiding citizen? Crimes are not committed by law-abiding citizens. The contradiction of terms. So why in the hell do they keep going on this whole rampage of let's persecute law-abiding citizens to control criminals? Well, criminals have already proven you can't control it that way.
Yeah.
It's just it's elitist bullshit. When you brought the show back on and made that comment, I started to. What I was actually going after was so far I'm almost at my shop. I got about another 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's all we got with the show too.
So, no. My point was. In that time span, I have passed 7 now dead deer on the sides of both highways, main roadways, and back roads. So, again, please tell me how hunting is a bad thing. Because that is 6 deer that are dead for no good reason other than they were wandered out into a roadway. That's 6 car accidents for people's lives that were in danger. 6 times.
Yeah.
And that's just now. Come on.
Thing is, they don't understand, but their feelings tell them. Oh, my God. Could you imagine if we did our jobs in medical just based on feelings and not fact? How many people would never get treatment because we felt they didn't have a right to treatment? Or what rules would we have broke because we felt that someone deserved above and beyond certain treatment?
Well, honestly, the perfect example of that I can think of was the call out to the holding cell at PD after we treated the guy's wife that he damn near beat to death by bashing her head to a solid wooden headboard. He damn near killed her. And he wanted to.
Yeah.
He had no problem with it. And when we had to treat him for injuries. You think we wanted to? You think we wanted to be nice about it?
Well, I also had... I had early in my career...
But he still has rights.
Yeah, early in my career, I had to go to Trenton State Prison. One of the towers, 3rd floor, elevator was broke. Transport one of the inmates to the hospital. 300 plus pounds. And again, the elevator's broke. Stair chair on those old, and the tower was one of those old towers. You know what I'm talking about at Trenton State.
I know the original stair chairs. Oh,
and I was told that
those things weighed a ton on their own.
And I was told if I lost my grip, just to step out of the way and let my partner know. I did everything in my power to make sure that guy got down safely. Now, this gentleman was in jail because he was homeless. two kids, brother and sister, that were about 12 years old, I think it was, brought him a blanket and food, and he repaid them by raping them. I wanted to drop that little fucker, not little, but I wanted to drop him down all those stairs. But I couldn't go on my feelings. I had to go by what the law was, what the rules were.
Well, by the law and by what's right.
Yeah,
and it's, and that's, you know what, and that's a tough one. I mean, okay, I said with what's right. Does he deserve to be dropped down the stairs? Yeah. Yeah, actually he does. Never mind, forget it. I got nothing. They call me a son of a bitch if you want. Oh, not to go back to the hunting thing again, but I'm going to go back to the hunting thing again. Another point for all of you people about how we're all cruel and all the rest of this shit. I hope every single one of you is a goddamn vegetarian or a vegan. Because you think it's unsportsmanlike for me to go out in the woods and hunt down an animal, but it's sportsmanlike and it's completely proper for a slaughterhouse to bring in massive amounts of animals, put them on a conveyor system, and just run them through a processing facility. So that's humane treatment. But me going in the woods and having to find my food and kill my food and clean my food is inappropriate.
Well, what is it? I saw. Make you go, idiot. There's that article that floats around the internet that says you shouldn't hunt for your food. You need to go to the store and buy it where the animals are not hurt.
God, remember that.
Problem is, people are like, oh, that's fake. No, it isn't. It actually isn't. No. Some idiot actually thought, because I actually had someone say that to me once, and I was like, you're joking. No, you need to go to the store and buy it where the animals aren't hurt. And it was just like, okay, conversation's done. Nope, I can't, nope, sorry.
I talk about coming to a debate unarmed. I have to say, oh my God.
So real quick, I want to get back because I forget how much I covered it. On the undercover videos that were done, two of the top people that were involved in it have been fired. Well, I think they were more fired because they opened their mouth openly, like idiots. The one female, Ms. Rodriguez, has been linked directly to payments from Hillary Clinton's campaign. And I think it's Foval, F-O-V-A-L. I think they are now linked him directly to the campaign and having been paid by the Hillary Clinton campaign. So there is direct ties and proof to what they said on the video that these people were paid by super PACs. They were paid by campaigns. And they're out there talking how they caused issues during Trump rallies. They purposely started fights. They paid mentally ill people to go in there to start trouble, knowing that they were unstable. They admit they set an old lady up to fake a story that she got punched in the face. Now, the guy's been arrested, and there's criminal charges against this guy because this old lady went up and tapped him on his shoulder. When he turned to see what she wanted, she dropped to the ground, started screaming that he hit her. And they think it's funny.
Her ass needs to be freaking thrown in jail.
Yeah.
That's filing a false police report. That is a crime in
But
itself.
They admit that they trained her to do that, that they gave her a script. They taught her how to do all this. They talk openly. This is what they did. They talk about how they brought bus people, not bust, because busing, if they actually had a bus come in and it got caught, it would prove a conspiracy. So they helped them set up vehicles to drive into those states to vote. They talk about how for 50 years they've been doing this and will continue to do it because the Republicans follow the rules. and they don't. So it's not just rhetoric on a video. There's proof. And what's funny is the Democrat Party, the DNC and Hillary, they're not even disavowing it, saying it's all lie. They've just gone silent. That's all they've done. There has been complaints filed with the FEC. Now, the chances that this government actually does anything, well,
it's making a hell of a lot more sense on why she's not scheduling any events for herself.
Oh, I know. She's no events scheduled for this month.
Now, isn't there one more debate, or no?
Yeah, tonight's the last debate. Tonight is right after our show, the Southside Mutt Show, at 8 o'clock. So we'll be doing somewhat of a pre-debate. We'll be talking about what we want to talk about, so that's pre-debate.
Yeah, because the moderators are not going to actually talk. They're not going to bring up the issues.
Well, I want to see with this one, because this one it is Chris Wallace from Fox News. Not that I trust Fox News anymore, but so I've seen where they have given an overview of what he's going to talk about, and if he holds to this and he stays neutral, it'll be the first time this year that a moderator stayed neutral. But supposedly he said it's not his job to play lie detector. Because, I mean, we know Hillary has lied on multiple occasions during these debates, and was never called out for it. And the ones on Trump have been proven that he was right. So, it's... Like I said...
I don't even so much care if the moderator's going to call her out on her bullshit. But
do it to both.
Bring up the goddamn issues. Don't sit there and direct the whole damn thing to make one look like an ass and the other one to come out looking like a shiny pile of shit.
Well, I don't think it's the job of the moderator to call out. That's for the people to figure out if they're lying or not. Because how is the moderator supposed to have all that information when the candidate responds? It's not like he has a team right then and there to look up every part of what he just said.
No.
So,
I just want him to bring up the issues that the people
and shut up and make sure that they stay. Okay, you have 2 minutes now. Shut your mouth. Not you, but I
thought you were talking about.
No. I would love to. I mean, I know he wouldn't be fair, but have Samuel Jackson as the moderator. I said you got 2 minutes, motherfucker. Now shut up. No, shut up. Motherfucker.
What would make that absolutely beautiful? Have him dressed like the way he was in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, that would be funny. But I would love to see them, both candidates. And yes, I'm a Trump supporter, but I've seen where Trump tried to stay and be respectful of that, where Hillary just doing the politician thing of going on and on and on and on and on and on and ignoring the rules. So, yes, Trump has gone that way now. Wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, essentially they're saying, okay, well, Republicans are playing by the rules, so we're going to break all the rules and we're going to win because we cheat. Well, eventually, the guy that's playing by the rules is going to get a little tired of it. He's going to trip your ass once in a while. I mean, that's all there is to it. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. I'm pulling up to the shop.
It's actually the end of the show, so I was just getting ready to cut you off.
All right. Well, I will. Anybody wants to tune in tonight? There'll be even more shenanigans.
Evil shenanigans.
All right. Have a good one, everybody.
All right, everybody. Thanks, Crash, for calling in. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Till then, I want everybody to have a great day, and we will be back tonight with the Southside Mutt Show right here on SHR Media Network. Have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.